Roll initiative, because it's time to talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
Uh-oh.
Poor misguided wanderers. First there were many, and now
Who's the new killer?
so
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Vecna, right?
how little you must value your life
Uh-oh.
to take a
The
single
new map?
insignificant breath in my sanctuary.
That's the new killer? Yeah.
I'm afraid there will be no quick death, no escape from this suffering.
What is it? Is it Vecna or is it somebody else?
I shall draw out your ending as I see fit. For in dark places such as this,
Yup. It's him. That's...
must keep themselves.
Oh, the bones in the book. Give me Shinnok. New survivor. It was only one survivor? I thought it was two of them.
Hello friends, I'm Mathieu Couté, Head of Partnerships for Behavior Digital.
What does he do?
Extremely happy to be joined here today by Sean from our friends at Wizard of the Coast, who is going to be...
I was about to say, what, Sean is not here.
We just saw.
I was only looking at the white shirt with trap on it.
Pleasure.
I'm not really a fan of the license, but that doesn't mean I can't be a fan of the chapter. So let's see what this is.
10 years old, and it's an absolute
I never played Dungeons and Dragons. I never watched it. None of that.
Very, very easy. I always joke.
So this is all new for me.
The building block, or like the
That's a dream come true. I still play Dungeons
I'm a whole
and Dragons.
outcast when it comes to anything Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not even gonna lie.
Forever.
Like, I'm not really a lore guy. I will play a game if it's really fun. Like, if his game is really good and I enjoy playing it, then I'll love the game for that. And if I love the lore on top of that, then that's just a plus. I mean, I might give it a try sometime now that it's coming to DVD, so I can get familiar with it. Yeah, I'm feeling the map too. If the map is like a cave and it's more cave than it is outdoors, I'm gonna be hyped because that's more immersive to me. If it's indoors, like, it may not be the best map designed, but at least it's indoors, right? It's more immersive, it's more engaging. I feel like outdoor maps sometimes get, like, I feel like it's the same with outdoor maps. I feel the same vibe.
Provoked in most intense emotions and reactions in players. So for us,
Because of course the layout will be different with outdoor maps, but I'm just tired of being outdoors. There's more outdoor maps than it is indoors, which it should be, but still want more indoor maps though. Like indoor maps in the way you feel locked inside the immersion, if that makes sense. Because it's like nothing, you can't see that outside, you're only locked inside.
there are many examples out
Unless you're trying to go for that exit gate, it's maybe outdoors, similar to Larry's Memorial or something like that.
He is an absolutely
But hopefully you understand what I mean.
whether you're a survivor.
So he's like the character, because I noticed that Behavior always go for those characters from certain licenses. So I'm assuming Vecna is that villain, that antagonist in that universe. I'm assuming, because I know there's a handful of other characters that's probably up to this here, right?
But it does have a stat block, and reading it is all, it's not ridiculous, but it's so much power in those.
I'm joined by my good friend, Yannick.
Hello, Yannick Never, Principal Game Designer on Dead by Daylight. Today I'll be talking about all the intricacy of the gameplay on this chapter, but first a little mention. Dead by Daylight, 8 years, introducing Dungeons & Dragons. It's a big milestone for us, but we're not the only one hitting a special milestone.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that Dungeons and Dragons turns 50 this year, and we are.
It's been out for that long too. That's wild.
And, we just want to say that maybe when we turn 50, we do something else with you, Wizard of the Coast, or maybe sooner.
will probably be in retired home, but will be glad to join the party. So first, Dungeons and Dragons in Dead by Daylight. I have to be honest here. The first time you told me about what's going to be coming next, I was surprised because I'm a big horror fan, but when you think about horror, Dungeons and Dragons is not the first thing that comes to mind. But thinking about it more, I realized, no, wait, there's a lot of horror in Dungeons and Dragons. And Ravenloft being my favorite module. So, like, you really specifically focus on certain element of the brand. So please tell us about those pillars.
Yeah, so when we start a chapter, we always...
I'm just thinking of this bone joint he got going on. He might be a Shinnok.
Around some specific pillars, like you said.
Or at least Shinnok is giving me his vibe because I don't know who been out longest. I assume Dungeons and Dragons.
Fantasy, magical creatures,
Magic, yeah. So this chapter focuses on magic.
Things that don't necessarily fit exactly well into the horror setting. But because D&D is a world of imagination where we can create whatever we want, there's also a way to make it happen. So for us, the first pillar was to make sure that we had a good juxtaposition with fantasy, so fully embracing that type of content,
Right.
but make it horrific as well. And like you've seen in the trailer, having a character like Vecna made perfectly sense for that.
Not familiar with Vecna from
Second
D&D
pillar
though,
is creative
so
roleplay.
this is gonna be
So
interesting.
The image of Dungeon and Dragon, we wanted to make sure that players had a lot of agency, a lot of choices. So that goes from an amount of spells you can choose from in the power, which we'll talk about later, or even customization. So a way you can, kind of create your own character in some way. We just wanted to make sure that we had a lot of gameplay choices in the D&D trials. And the last pillar we worked with is chaos. But that's actually one of our main pillar in Dead by Daylight.
But chaos?
But, a lot of what happens in Dungeon and Dragon is based on randomness. You throw a dice, and with critical success, critical fails, and everything in between,
Got it.
you see the result and you adapt to it. So we wanted to recreate that feeling inside the Dead by Daylight trials as well.
Dungeons and Dragons is really about exploring a fantasy world, but also be thrilled about what's going to be the monster you're going to meet the next time you open a door.
So let's talk about that killer you'll meet the next time you open the door. So of course, Dungeons and Dragons has a lot of iconic monsters we could have chosen from, a lot of iconic villains as well. And with
Who was those skeletons? I thought those skeletons was the killers for a second. When she had peeked and she saw those purple skeletons walking down.
He's a lich, so
Is that part of his power?
Turn himself into undead to be able to continue his villainry. Is that even a word?
It looks
Sure.
pretty cool.
So,
Giving me
we
Thanos.
wanted to
With
do
that.
his origin
The
story,
thing,
for
he's
as long as he
purple.
could.
And then he got the
Vecna also
gauntlet
has,
joint going on.
Access to every
That's what it's
spell
giving me.
in the books. So that was very interesting for us to create an interesting power. Of course, we also have a survivor in the chapter. So the Bard, a very interesting class. There's many classes that we've.
I was about to say, yeah, there's two survivors,
But the
right?
Bard
We
was
only
the
showed one.
that fit the most into our horror setting. For example, when we think about a class like the Paladin, you think of the ability to turn the undead, magical sword, big plated armors, and all of this doesn't fit really well into the world of Dead by Daylight. The Bard, with abilities like Bardic Inspiration, the ability to sing, to play musical instrument, to know lore, and even to insult the villain, is just so on brand that it was a perfect fit. So that's why we chose the Bard. As you've seen in the image and the trailer, we're doing something special with the Survivor. It's akin to what we've done with Legion. So through the cosmetic customization, you'll be able to choose.
Okay, so it is technically counts as one survivor. Okay.
So we'll have the choice between Ice Tree, a female elf, or Beramar, a human male. Yeah.
It's interesting, but when I was younger playing Dungeons and Dragons, like in my friends group, the Bard was not really a class that people tend to play.
True.
Compared especially to other classes that we had, but throughout times, like there's been many change and iteration on the class. And
So wait, Dungeons and Dragons, that's like,
really fun now, definitely. And
is that like World of Warcraft or something? Like that's just always been there, and then you could just play with your friends or something, I assume?
Nowadays as a bard, and we've also seen a lot of bard love into other content that Dungeons and Dragons produces.
Because World of Warcraft, I feel like I always heard of that, and then that was always just something you can just hop online and play.
Absolutely. We're super proud to have a full chapter for the anniversary, and shocking no one, the map is a dungeon. Absolutely. So
Indoor
in
mainly?
Morgul Realm, we have a new map with a new building. So there is a top part set in the
Outside slash.
surrounding
So it's like
and you can find this
Um,
isolated tower.
did not
You can go inside and go into an extensive dungeon underground, packed with surprises and Easter egg related to Dungeons and Dragons. The goal with this map is that we've imagined that Vecna,
So it's like the
going
Nostromo, I
around
guess.
realms and playing, now trapped into the realm of the entity, would find a place to make his own, his lair, and so that he can study where he is, the world, the entity, and potentially find a way to escape. Maybe not.
cool.
We are also introducing a new gameplay mechanic in this map called Passage. So these are basically doors, magical doors, which you can use to teleport from one area to the next.
That is dope.
And we think it's going to add a new interesting spice to Chases.
The map, the Easter egg, super fun. Like,
Wait a
it's kind of
second.
with
What
the
did he
dragons,
just say?
just exploring.
He
You'll
said
get
an interesting
to see
change to
all the
chase
small
to
and the
chases.
big one. On the gameplay side.
So what, you gonna be
for,
able to like
uh,
teleport or
the
something
way
mid
you
chase?
tackle or approach the killer.
Survivor
And
teleporting mid
just the way he
chase?
comes from a game, so he has game mechanic that are existent. So we look at all like stats block and try to come up with like the best spell that could be translated into game mechanic for us, and also make sure that these will be like thrilling and exciting to use.
I wonder how Vecna's cosmetics is gonna look like. He seems like he would probably. He seems like he would have some pretty hard cosmetics.
Game. But like I was saying, magic, it's something that we have never really tackled, not that way before. Something we try to stay away from, like our powers are really visceral or grounded as much as possible. It's something that you want to talk about a bit, magic.
Yeah, yes, please. I hope.
Yeah, I would say I guess this
colleagues are laughing right now.
the chapter like
I kind of have a bad rep internally about magic. It's almost a taboo word that we can't use. But now making a D&D chapter.
that's what he's focusing on,
sure
magic,
we have
right?
to embrace magic. And of course, there is a space for magic in all games, but it has to be.
That's what I'm
something
curious.
with
Can y'all show
in this case,
something?
we're
Like, can we
talking
see?
blood magic, magic of the dead.
Either way, I think the PTB's today anyway. So even if they don't show nothing, at least we get to play anyways.
To magic versus something more flashy like a magic projectile or a fireball, for example. There's also something quite interesting out of Dungeons and Dragons, and these are the utility spells. They're spells that are not used to kill or damage, but they're used in very creative ways, and we wanted to highlight that with Dodge. So that was our approach. Now, do you want to talk to us about the spell that we actually chose?
Sure. So you have access to 4 different types of spell. Pretty much any time they have their own individual cooldown. But so the first one is called Fly, a very popular, well-known Dungeons and Dragons spell in game. It lifts up the killer, and you're pushed forward, obviously faster. So it's really the traversal aspect of the power.
Okay.
It lasts for a short amount of time, and it's going to also end if you vault a pallet or a vault location. And this is really useful to get closer to Survivor and get to the next gen as soon as possible. The next one is called Flight of the Dam, which is, it's not really a Dungeons and Dragons spell. It's more connected to.
I need to see. I'm about to say I need to see something.
Actually, an ability that he has. What it does is
like
that
artists?
it casts 5 different individual projectile, and then it shoots them in a cone radius effective in front of him. These projectiles pass through obstacles. They don't go very far, but if they hit the survivor, they get damaged instantly. It might sound
like artists.
very powerful and easy to use, but it's
Oh, I
not
thought you were
really.
about to say like artists.
Survivor has a lot of counter, but the spell can also be used to zone in this aspect, so you can also go for the basic and non-attack in that time. The third spell is called Dispelling Sphere,
Okay.
which is actually, it's a combination of different existing Dungeons and Dragons spell. We just felt it was more compelling to combine them into one spell. So what it does, you cast a large sphere in front of you, and that sphere moves slowly throughout the level. Survivors do not see that sphere, and if they get contact with that sphere, they get revealed for a few seconds by Killer Instinct, and also have the magic items disabled for a minute. And the last but not least spell
Okay.
is Mage.
Definitely need to see that one.
Dungeon and Dragon spell. What it does in the daylight, you, as the killer, you can tag up nearby pallets. And if the pallet is upward, it blocks the pallet for a few seconds. Cannot be interacted by the survivor. And if it's downward, it lifts it up for you so you can fully pass without any obstacles. So the idea with this killer, he has a lot of tools and tricks in his bag, and it's really about managing all the force spells, the cooldown, and
I'm not seeing a word.
activate them at the right moment. So that's really how you're gonna improve as a killer.
I need to see how strong that is, yo.
and be efficient with them.
Plus strategic and tactical choices. So you've mentioned very quickly during the spells magical light.
Oh,
What's that?
Okay. So
I'm not seeing nothing yet.
It's called magic items, but keep in mind
That's
that
crazy.
items, that you use. So this time, if you face Vecna, you're gonna have Survivor gonna have 7
Yo.
chests that's gonna spawn.
Dude is magical.
Survivor go interact with those chests, and while during the opening of the chest, there's gonna be a d20 dice roll. Yes, it's on a Dungeon and Dragon. The dice roll. So this dice roll will determine the content of the chest. So if Survivor
That's
roll,
kind of dope.
from 2 to 4, they get a basic like draft item. So
Better than nothing.
yeah, well, maybe that down mid-kit might save your life. I don't know. But the fun part is when you roll from 5 to 19, that's when you get the magic items. And the way it works is that each survivor has an equipment slot, 2 equipment slots. They have bracers and the boots. So there's 2 types of magic items, and each magic item is going to be randomly linked, the first time you open the chest, to one of the 4 Vecna spells.
Okay.
And so once they are equipped, each time the killer will cast the spell that is linked to one of your magic items, you're going to gain a passive bonus to help out, kind of avoid the spell or
I need to see it.
So for it to be more precise, so if you have bracers against the fly spell, you're going to see Vecna's aura during the traveling as well.
So it gives you specific benefits
If
that
you
could
have,
help
boots, for example,
counter his power, I assume.
Then you see the aura of the projectile, very useful because the projectile goes through collision, and the best way to use that spell is through walls. If you have magic items against the Whispering Sphere, survivors see the sphere, so they can juke and go around the sphere as much as they can.
I need to see it.
And if you have a counter against,
That's what it sounded like to me.
you see the aura of the hand on the palette, and also gain a little haste effect, so that helps you out around the
So it's really important to search those chests.
Yeah, correct. Because the way that we tackle this, the balance in this case is that we made sure that the magic items do not trunker the killer's power. It's made or balanced to face survivors who have them equipped. So if you don't get those, definitely the killer might feel a bit aggressive. So it's really up to survivor to get to those chests and equip them as soon as possible.
Just to be clear, you can also equip a normal item. So you can have your flashlight, bracer, and boots.
Correct. It's a very different.
I need to see it. Yeah, it sounds like a lot.
You talk about numbers here on the dice, but you've not mentioned the critical fail, 1, and critical success, 20. People that don't play D&D, these are like events, the best event that can happen in Dungeons and Dragons when you get that critical fail or that critical success. So what happens in Dead by Daylight?
Yes. So we have critical roll in the game. If you roll a 1, you get a big nothing. Although I've heard sometimes people get a green key. I guess
that's
lucky you.
better. Yeah.
But I know what you get if you roll a 20. So anyone who's familiar with Vecna in the lore of Dungeons and Dragons, there are 2 very specific artifacts that exist that is called the Eye of Vecna and the Hand of Vecna, and we introduce them in our game. So you roll a 20, you get one of the 2. You never know. But these works more like a normal item, so you have to pick them up and use them once. It's called attune, so you merge with the items. and then you unlock a very powerful ability up to like perk level. Yes, it's very strong.
Need to see it.
And if you want to know,
Please do say.
okay,
It's a lot
so
going on
if
at these
you
scenes.
attune with the Eye of Vecna, they use with blockers. So if you fast exit a locker, you're going to be unseen, unheard by the killer for 15 seconds. And on top
What?
of that, you gain a haste boost effect.
Yo,
And if you attune with the Hand of Vecna, you fast enter a locker and you're going to be teleported further down for the locker.
yo, I made up a perk like that. Yo, that's crazy. I was talking to,
They might sound super
I swear a month ago I was talking about a perk where you could teleport to a locker.
cost. So to use them, you have to be full health. And what
To cover more on that topic, including an announcement on one of the most highly requested features ever.
this one's going to be really, really exciting. Stay tuned for that.
I wonder
because
what that is.
really something interesting coming up.
Okay,
Last
let's
but
see.
not least, our fourth pillar, events evolution. Events have always been a fundamental part of the game, especially the seasonal events.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. More unique events.
Forward over the coming year.
Okay.
With this year, we're starting to do a bit of a split where we're going to have our events happening on a separate matchmaking queue, which essentially means that at any time there's an event ongoing, you can decide to still play normal Dead by Daylight if that's what you're looking for.
Right.
You can also go into the event-specific queue and play some of that gameplay. This is really gonna.
Was that what I was talking about? Where is this like a playlist of all past events and now current? Stop playing. Stop playing. Don't make me think what I think it is.
On top of that, we can also expect more modifiers to make it in the game, whether it's the one we've talked about just before that are going to be
I don't know. Let's see.
here, or
I want to get my hopes up.
introducing new modifiers that are either tweaks on something or something completely different. But modifiers is just
More hooks,
bit
more
of
generators, more like
I think
things
that's
like that.
A little bigger that might be coming up.
Absolutely, and that's why I'm so happy.
Imagine having to hook a Survivor
Let
10
you guys
times,
know
yo.
that for the first time ever, this summer, Dead by Daylight will have a new mode, not modifier, but a mode coming to you all. We've been listening and hearing your feedback.
Stop
I'm really
playing
happy to let you know
2v8.
This summer, replacing Scorching Barbecue will be the first ever time-limited 2v8 mode.
Let's
We'll be doing it.
go! 2v8, bro. I've been waiting for 2v8 for so
My friend
long.
Devon for joining me.
You know.
My friend Matt on the couch to talk a little bit more about
Let's go. 2v8. Is it the way how I think it is though? 2v8. 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 You got me fucking kidding me, bro. Oh my god. You don't understand, yo. Finally, the mode I've been waiting for ever. Everybody. Finally. Thank you so much, yo. The mode I've been waiting for. Yes. 2v8.
Well, I know it's still
Yes.
everything is subject to change.
All I wanted to do was kill with friends, not survive with friends.
On some of our
Since day one.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Yes. Let's go.
2v8 is coming to
2v8.
This is a new game mode.
Yes.
Which is really cool. Other gameplay.
Yes!
we've
Let's
done
go!
so Lights Out, My Little
2v8, man.
Soon, Chaos Shuffle. These are what we're calling modifiers. And modifiers basically take a DVD match, change a few things, but ultimately you're still playing.
I'm so
DBD.
excited.
With this new game mode, 2v8, we're fundamentally changing the way that you play Dead by Daylight.
Yes.
In this particular case,
What's the catch?
two
There has to be
killers,
something,
8
right?
survivors, and a bunch of new changes that we're going to get into very shortly.
What's the catch?
The focus with 2v8, we really wanted to hone in on what's exciting and fun and chaotic.
And chaotic, yes.
And we're
It doesn't
leaning
have to
more
be
into
tuned down.
a party mode kind of vibe rather than something
More
that's
serious.
super competitive.
Exactly.
It's also worth mentioning that the way that we're building this, it's an iterative process, right? And this is just the first iteration. So we'll be looking to add more content, more gameplay in the future based on the
Yes. I know my brother's in the other room.
excited to see
I
what
the hell
it
right
says
now,
when
cause
the
I
story
get two.
comes out.
Let's go.
First, let's break down
2v8,
the changes
yeah.
we know are going to be coming to 2v8 this summer. I mean, of course, there's still
Ghostface and Myers. The potential is real.
Made 5 maps bigger to accommodate all the
Sadako and
maps.
Pig, like I said.
And
What?
we're also doing away with
Plague and
artists,
Oni.
instead introducing
Come on now.
Sort of 2v8 exclusive system.
You know how serious that potential is?
Survivors.
That's right. Yeah, so when it comes to survivors, basically once you've chosen your character, you can select and equip a player class. And this class is effectively your power for the match, and it helps players identify what your role is within the team. So instead of mixing and matching perks, instead we really wanted to focus on a
Take it away.
particular playstyle for this, and whether it's generator,
Right,
healing,
right.
looping, speed, that kind of thing. That's what we're really going for with these classes.
Wait.
There's also just cowering in the corner, which is my own preferred playstyle. Which is great. And it'll work a little differently for killers.
I say just take away perks.
Choose from one
It
of
is
the
what it
5
is.
original killers, each with their own specific gameplay. Killers obviously have powers, so they don't have classes in this mode.
Right.
But we will be introducing a new mechanic, which is a team power. For example, if you are the Wraith, when you cloak yourself, if your teammate is within a certain radius of you, they will also get the undetectable status effect, allowing you to coordinate a sort of team stealth attack. Should make for some entertainment. The reason that we're focusing on the 5 original killers is just to make sure that this is as accessible as possible. They're all free.
Oh, you can't play as.
We want you to enjoy the content.
Damn.
I
I mean, at least we got it. It's a step in the right direction.
It's the
It is what it is, right?
Success and failures a killer does not rely solely
The more it evolves, the more they will let us play any killer we want.
from or even blame. So working together is just going to make the match so much more fun.
Ah, man, I was really hoping you could play as all the killers, though.
Lastly,
That would have
it's
been
worth
dope.
mentioning that for this mode, we really wanted to keep the action pace and the momentum flowing. During our play tests, we found that the process of downing a survivor, picking them up, carrying them to the hook, it really started to slow things down for this mode in particular. So we're doing away with.
I'm trying to think of the potential with the 5 killers we got. Like,
Instead, once the killer's down to survivor, they'll be able to send them to a cage. This works very similar to
Pyramid, they talked about that on the survey too. So that means they was already planning, yeah. They was already planning the 2v8 cage thing, okay.
So once you've been hooked 3 times, you'll be out of the match.
Right.
And as Justin said before, there will be 5 original killers coming to this iteration of this game mode. But we will be looking to add more as we iterate on it and add more to it. Of course, we'll also be improving the game as it goes along. So content will be coming in as well as updates to classes and gameplay.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, Matt. And to all of you at home, if you want to learn more about 2v8, please join us in our July live stream. We will hope you're looking forward to this year 9. For now, back to you, Eric.
He's so reading the thing. Good talk. But hey, 2v8 is coming, man. Let's go. Nice. I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait, yo. Finally get to team up with a killer. Even though it's only the 5 killers now. So that's who? Trapper, Hillbilly, Nurse. I'm missing somebody. Wraith. And who would be the last one? Huntress? I feel like maybe Huntress? Yeah, Huntress. Has to be Huntress. They showed on the thing. Yeah, Huntress for sure.